This week in post, tinting your black and white photos in Lightroom. Hey everybody, I'm Scott Davenport and welcome to In Post. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to dive straight into today's topic. It's going to be short and sweet about tinting your photos in Lightroom, specifically your black and white photos. So a kind of a gentle tint to the shadows is something I'll do as a finishing touch on many of my black and white photos. And I have one here that I'm going to show you how this works. We have done the conversion, and I've used a couple of different tools to get this final result. And it's straight grayscale, and I want to add a little bit of a hint to the shadow areas. I'm going to do that with split toning, but I'm only going to use the shadow coloring, and I'm not going to touch the highlights at all. So we'll use a combination of balance and shadows to get just a tinting going on into the shadow areas, so these deep areas in these dark shadowy caves and some of the darker parts in this rock. And this it kind of simulates some of the older film processing techniques with selenium. You can get like a gold tint or a red tint. I'm going to go after kind of a plum purple tint because I like that for my landscapes. So I'll start. I'm going to select something very, very obvious, something very bright, nearly magenta. But I want to do this so you can see how the balance slider affects this. So for the balance slider, we have no tinting in the highlights and we have some coloring in the shadow. And balance tells us, do we want more highlight color or do we want more shadow color? I want less color for the shadows, so I want to have more highlights. You'll notice that the purplish, this magenta tinting is starting to retreat into just the shadowy areas. And I usually like somewhere in the 70 to 75 range. Seems to work out pretty well for me. So I'm going to leave this here at 73, is it so? And now I'll just take this and bring the saturation way down, somewhere down here. Now this is very, very subtle, and it's almost like we can't see the difference. But now let me toggle on and off the split toning. So before, and it kind of has this just charcoal gray coloring to it, almost a little bit of a green cast. And then after, notice that there is a difference in toning in those shadowy areas. And that's a look that I like. And you can experiment with different types of coloring. You can do a red tint or like a warm yellowish green. It all depends on the scene that you have and what type of feeling that you want to convey through it. But it's a nice way to add a little bit of your own signature to a photo and make that conversion your own. That's sort of the tip of the week. Play around with that split toning just for the shadows. Push the balance slider up pretty far positive, so you're biasing things away from that shadow coloring. So you just get a little hint of it in the deeper, darker, richer areas of your black and white photos. And with that, that is the end of today's In Post episode. Like I said, short and sweet. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, let me know somehow. Comments on the video below are great. Send in your photo questions. And until next time, my name's Scott Davenport, and happy shooting.